Illegal firearms and cartridges seized in Hotoquai, Northwest District. In a targeted operation conducted early this morning at approximately 6 o'clock hours, the Guyana Police Force Regional Division No. 1 successfully seized illegal firearms and ammunition in Hotoquai Village, Northwest District, NWD. The operation, led by Regional Commander Superintendent Krishna Ramana, followed credible intelligence regarding the possession of illegal firearms and substances by residents in the area. The team of police ranks executed searches at the residences and farmland of 2 individuals, resulting in significant findings. Details of the operation. Incident 1. Arrest of Guy Wells. The team initially searched the home of Guy Wells, a 28-year-old farmer from Hotoquai Village. While no illegal items were discovered in his residence, a subsequent search of his nearby farmland uncovered a single-barrel shotgun concealed in bushes. The firearm contained a live cartridge. Additionally, officers found a black fanny pack containing 3 live cartridges and 2 spent shells. Upon questioning, Mr. Wells admitted he did not hold a firearm license, stating, "Officer, I use this for my personal protection and for hunting." He was cautioned in accordance with the judge's rule and subsequently arrested for possession of a firearm and ammunition without a license. Incident 2. Arrest of Herbert Williams. Acting on additional intelligence, the team proceeded to the residence of Herbert Williams, a 36-year-old farmer also from Hotoquai Village. While the initial search of Mr. Williams' home yielded no illegal items, a search of his farmland revealed another single-barrel shotgun. Mr. Williams admitted to being unlicensed and disclosed that he had purchased the firearm for $10,000 from an individual in Yarakita Village, NWD, a few years ago. He also claimed the firearm was used for hunting and personal protection. He was cautioned and arrested for possession of an unlicensed firearm. Seized items and custody. Both firearms and cartridges were seized, and the suspects were transported to the Mabaruma police station for further processing. The operation was carried out by a team led by Commander Ramana, comprising Sergeant 22,144 Schultz, Corporal 20,483 Walker, Detective Corporal 25126 Khan, Detective Constable 23731 Torres, Constable 25,717 Sergeant, Constable 23,639 Venture, Constable 24,986 Brown, Detective Constable 24740 Gordon. The Guyana Police Force remains committed to upholding law and order, ensuring the safety of all citizens, and addressing the unlawful possession of firearms in the region. GECOM observes surge in national ID applications following cash grant announcement. News source Guyana. The Guyana Elections Commission, GECOM, has reported a noticeable increase in applications for national identification cards and replacements following the government's announcement of a $100,000 one-off cash grant for all citizens aged 18 and older. Deputy Chief Election Officer Aniel Giddings confirmed the uptick in demand, attributing it to the eligibility requirements for the grant. Despite the surge, GECOM clarified that it will not provide any of its data to the government for grant distribution verification, as the law prohibits sharing such information. Grant distribution and verification process. The government's announcement specified that citizens must present either a valid Guyana national ID card or passport during the grant application process. Registration for the grant is underway, starting with public servants and set to include pensioners next, before opening to the wider public. To ensure authenticity, the registration process includes capturing the applicant's photo to confirm their physical presence, recording a photo of their ID or passport to validate matching details. The government emphasized that each eligible individual can receive the grant only once, warning that attempts at fraud or manipulation will result in strict legal penalties. Next steps. The distribution timeline for public servants and pensioners is expected to conclude soon, with a broader public registration to follow. The government remains committed to ensuring an efficient and transparent process. GECOM continues to process ID card applications efficiently, urging citizens to comply with requirements for documentation to avoid delays. Police investigate discovery of body and submerged vehicle at Babu, Jaan. The body of a man, identified as Mitchell Ben, was discovered on Saturday in a canal at Babu, Jaan, East Burbus, Corentyne. The circumstances surrounding the incident remain under investigation. Initial reports indicate that Ben, a resident of the area, was last seen leaving his home around 16:30 hours on Friday. When he failed to return or communicate with family, concerns arose about his whereabouts. The discovery was made when police were alerted to a submerged pickup in a canal at Babu, Jaan. Upon their arrival, officers located Ben's body lying alongside the vehicle. The Guyana police force is actively investigating the incident to determine the cause of death and the events leading to the vehicle submersion. Investigators are appealing to anyone with information related to the incident to come forward and assist with inquiries. Further updates will be provided as the investigation progresses. 3 police officers under close arrest following shooting incident in Lethem. The Guyana Police Force, GPF, confirms that the Office of Professional Responsibility, OPR, is conducting a comprehensive investigation into an alleged shooting incident involving officers from the Lethem police station and 2 wanted suspects. The incident occurred on November 18, 2024, at approximately 12:30 p.m. in Parara Village, Central Rupununi. The suspects, identified as Cortland Jones, also known as Buck, and Rickford King, both residents of Aranapita Valley, North Rupununi, have been wanted for over 2 years in connection with multiple cattle larceny offenses. Additionally, Jones is wanted for the October 2022 murder of Ari Matthews. On the day in question, police received intelligence about the suspects traveling on a motorcycle along the Lethem/Kuru Pukari Trail. Officers confronted the suspects in Parara Village, where they resisted arrest and allegedly attacked the officers with 2 choppers. During the altercation, an inspector sustained injuries to his right hand. In response, officers discharged their firearms, injuring King in his lower left hip and Jones in his left thigh. Both suspects were subdued, arrested, and transported to the Lethem Regional Hospital for treatment before being taken into police custody. While in custody at the Lethem police station, Jones, who was handcuffed to a wheelchair due to his injuries, escaped at approximately 1:05 hours on November 20, 2024, from the inquiry's office. 3 police officers are currently under close arrest and are assisting the OPR with its investigations into the shooting and subsequent escape of Cortland Jones. The GPF remains committed to upholding transparency and ensuring accountability in all aspects of its operations. The investigation is ongoing, and further updates will be provided as more details emerge. 23-year-old woman hospitalized following stabbing and chopping incident involving GDF Corporal. The Guyana Police Force, GPF, is investigating a serious wounding incident that left 23-year-old Letitia Reynolds of No. 30 Village, West Coast Burbus, hospitalized in critical condition. The alleged assailant, identified as her fiancé, 26-year-old Philin Edwards, a corporal in the Guyana Defense Force, GDF, is currently in police custody. The attack occurred around 19:30 hours on Friday, November 22, 2024, at the victim's home, where the couple lived with Reynolds' 5-year-old son. Preliminary investigations revealed that Edwards returned home around 17:50 hours and accused Reynolds of allowing her son's father to visit in his absence. Reynolds acknowledged the visit but clarified that no interaction occurred between them. Edwards reportedly became enraged, retrieved a knife from the kitchen, and held it to Reynolds' neck while instructing her son to leave the house. The suspect then stabbed Reynolds multiple times on her face, finger, and abdomen. When Reynolds attempted to flee, Edwards retrieved a cutlass from the kitchen and inflicted a severe chop wound to her neck, causing significant bleeding. He fled the scene shortly thereafter. Reynolds managed to seek help from a relative, who transported her to the Fort Wellington Public Hospital. She was later transferred to the New Amsterdam Public Hospital, where she is receiving treatment. Her condition is listed as serious. Edwards surrendered himself at the Weldad police station shortly after the incident, admitting to the attack. He was arrested and is assisting investigators with their inquiries. The GPF is conducting a thorough investigation into the matter. Updates will be provided as new information becomes available. The Guyana Police Force condemns all forms of domestic violence and continues to urge individuals to seek help through available resources to prevent such tragic incidents. Motorcyclist fatally injured in collision on Corentyne Highway. The Guyana Police Force is investigating a fatal accident that claimed the life of 23-year-old motorcyclist Birchall Rover of No. 77 Housing Scheme, Corentyne. The incident occurred on Friday, November 22, 2024, on the Corentyne Highway at No. 72 Village, Region 6, East Burbus, Corentyne. Preliminary investigations reveal that Rover, an unlicensed motorcyclist, was riding motorcycle CL 3169 at a high rate of speed, heading towards No. 73 Village. He reportedly lost control of the motorcycle and collided with the left rear portion of a parked lorry situated on the western side of the road. The collision caused Rover to be thrown from the motorcycle onto the roadway, resulting in severe injuries. He was not wearing a safety helmet at the time of the crash. Rover was picked up in a semi-conscious state by public-spirited citizens and transported to the Skeldon Public Hospital, where he was treated for a fractured right leg. Due to the severity of his injuries, He was later transferred to the New Amsterdam Public Hospital. Unfortunately, Rover succumbed to his injuries at approximately 18:30 hours. The parked lorry involved in the accident is owned by a transportation company based on Robb Street, Georgetown. Rover's body is currently at the New Amsterdam Regional Hospital mortuary, awaiting a post-mortem examination. The police are continuing their investigations into the circumstances of the accident. The Guyana Police Force reminds all road users of the importance of adhering to traffic laws, including the use of safety helmets and operating vehicles at safe speeds. The force remains committed to promoting road safety and reducing traffic-related fatalities. Attorney General files $100 million Guyanese defamation lawsuit against Melissa Melly Atwell. Demerara waives. Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs, Senior Counsel Anil Nandlal, has filed a lawsuit seeking over $100 million Guyanese in damages against New York-based Guyanese social media activist Melissa Melly Atwell. The lawsuit, filed on Friday, November 22, 2024, alleges defamation stemming from multiple Facebook posts made by Atwell between November 21 and 22, 2024. The court documents state that Atwell's Facebook posts, some of which were tagged to Mr. Nandlal's personal and public pages as well as the Facebook page of President Irfan Ali, contain defamatory statements aimed at damaging his personal and professional reputation. The Attorney General claims that the posts falsely portray him as untrustworthy, dishonest, and unfit for his roles as Attorney General, Member of Parliament, and member of the legal profession. He also asserts that the posts are likely to harm his standing among his cabinet colleagues, political peers, and the general public both in Guyana and internationally. The lawsuit categorically denies any interaction between Mr. Nandlal and Ms. Atwell. The Attorney General states that he has never met or communicated with her and describes her allegations as a malicious and fabricated campaign intended to harm his reputation and professional standing. The lawsuit seeks damages of $100 million Guyanese for defamation, an injunction preventing Ms. Atwell from publishing or republishing defamatory material about Mr. Nandlal on Facebook or any other platform, an order directing Ms. Atwell to remove all defamatory posts from her Facebook page, Melissa and Atwell, Melly. Mr. Nandlal has also invited Ms. Atwell to substantiate her allegations in court, stating, "I am hereby providing Melissa Atwell with a glorious opportunity to appear before and establish to the satisfaction of an independent and impartial tribunal the veracity of the many false and fabricated allegations she has made against me. After all, it is the least I can do, and Atwell deserves no less." Mr. Nandlal's court filings suggest that the defamatory posts may be retaliatory, linked to the government of Guyana's collaboration with U.S. law enforcement to address similar defamatory actions. In subsequent Facebook posts, Ms. Atwell challenged the Attorney General to file a lawsuit against her in the United States, asserting her residency in the country. She stated, "Ya come to the U.S. and sue me love. I'm a resident of the U.S. I don't live in Guyana. This case is now before the High Court in Guyana. Further updates will be provided as the matter progresses." Lorry driver granted $500,000 bail following fatal Sheriff Street collision. Guyana Times. Denzel Webb, a 28-year-old truck driver from Belfield, East Coast Demerara, ECD, was charged on Friday in connection with the death of Carlton Smart, who tragically lost his life in a fatal collision on Sheriff Street earlier this week. Webb appeared before Chief Magistrate Faith McGusty at the Georgetown Magistrates Courts, where he pleaded not guilty to the charge of causing death by dangerous driving. The court granted him bail in the amount of $500,000, and his next court appearance is scheduled for December 6, 2024. During the hearing, Webb's attorney, George Thomas, argued that the incident was the result of a mechanical failure, specifically a brake malfunction, rather than reckless driving. However, the prosecution disputed this claim, emphasizing that there was no evidence to support the alleged mechanical failure. They further contended that excessive speed was a key factor in the accident, which resulted in the devastating loss of life. The incident. The accident occurred on Tuesday, November 19, 2024, at approximately 6:50 a.m. at the intersection of Sheriff and Dennis Streets in Georgetown. According to reports, Webb's lorry, GAH 5183, allegedly ran a stop sign while traveling at high speed, colliding with another lorry, GAH 8008, that was also moving at a fast pace. The impact caused both vehicles to lose control, with Webb's lorry veering off its path and fatally striking 42-year-old Carlton Smart, an electrical contractor from Newtown Kitty. Smart, who was jogging in the area at the time, was trapped under the rear wheels of the lorry and was pronounced dead at the scene. The collision caused additional chaos, with the two lorries damaging 6 cars and one lorry crashing into a nearby building. Investigators confirmed that neither of the drivers involved in the collision was under the influence of alcohol. Victim identified. The deceased, Carlton Smart, is remembered as a skilled contractor and a devoted member of his community. His untimely death has left his family and friends in mourning. The case remains under investigation as the prosecution continues to gather evidence regarding the circumstances surrounding the collision.